Hello there, YouTube listener, listening to the 504 podcast. As you're sitting there waiting for the episode to begin, make sure you hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let me know you were here. Just say stopping in. Hey, Mark. Hey, Erica. Leave a comment, something. Get the engagement up. Get the conversation going. And let's get to it. Here are this week's stories. Is Kim Kardashian a failure? She thinks so. Why you shouldn't buy TVs from crackheads? What happened? Louisiana Fast have decided that they're going to take a stand. What's the rule for kids' last names when you're not married and you have a baby and it's not planned? What did Joe Biden do now? This is the first one we're not talking about COVID. But what did Joe Biden do now? Bird flu is back. Can you get shot for not paying for your haircut? And YouTube algorithms. This is the 504 podcast. Because I keep forgetting to download that thing with the sounds on it. Mun, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Awesome.
Good.
She says she's doing good. All right, so we got a lot to talk about, a little bit of time. Let's get through it. Kim Kardashian. She says that she is a failure. Or she feels like she's a failure. So she was on the clip or on the show Keeping Up with the Kardashians because no one watches the full episodes. So you only see clips of when they actually do something. And in the clip, she goes, I feel like a failure. And she's crying. She's like, I feel like a failure because I've been married 3 times and I've been divorced 3 times. So my question is, in the case of being divorced, I know it takes a toll on a person, but do you think how many times you've been divorced can define you as being successful in life or unsuccessful in life?
I don't think it defines your success in life, but as like personal accomplishment, maybe. Like, at what point do you what's that word I want to say? Introspective? What's that word I want to, yes, introspectively look and say, what am I doing wrong? But who is she married to? I thought it was twice. I know it's Kanye.
She got married to Kanye. She got married to that other basketball player.
Yeah.
And let me see how many times. I'm gonna look that up right now while we're here.
I know it's a young kid. They got married, and that was like very brief. And he was on the show just a few times.
That was a basketball player.
Yeah. So I don't know who the other one was. But
so check this out. I typed in how many times was Kim, and the next words that came up was Kardashian married.
They're listening.
It says 3. It says he was married 3 times. The basketball player, Kanye West, and someone named Damon Thomas. She was married to Damon Thomas from 2000 to 2004. I don't know who that is. Mm-hmm. Chris Humphries from 2011 to 2013. And Kanye West from 2014 to current. I'm going to click on Damon Thomas and see who he is.
Yeah.
Damon Thomas.
But she was
he's
young,
a songwriter. It looks
younger,
like.
Yeah.
This dog would start to do this barking thing now when I start to record. He was fine all day. So, how does it work? How does it work? Like, when you've been, like, divorced 3 times, like, do you think, like, the next guy's like, yo, I'm about to wife her up and, like, take her seriously? Didn't she have, like, 5 kids with Kim Kardashian? I mean, with Kanye West?
I think 4.
That's the next question now. How many kids does Kim Kardashian have? How many? I didn't even type in her name. I said, how many kids, and it came up, does Kim Kardashian have? 4.
Well,
she has 4. Northwest, Psalm West, Chicago West, and Saint West.
Okay. So she was married to the first guy for 4 years, but she admits that she was high in ecstasy when they got married. I don't know. So she was pretty young then, and she was 19. He was 10 years older than her.
You know, there were certain things I don't want to know about my parent. Like, I know my mom has dated and she's had boyfriends and stuff, and I know she, like, you know, has a past and such. But imagine those kids growing up and seeing their parent in a light in which they never knew existed. Like, she has a sex tape. She's been around. Dudes have made songs about her, about what they've done to her. And then, you know, they're kids, so they're kind of protected from it. But imagine, like, that 17-year-old kid going to high school and they get bullied because, well, not bullied, but, you know, kids start teasing them because, yo, this is your mom right here. This is your mom.
Yeah, the first guy, he's the one who paid for her plastic surgery, liposuction, and he convinced her to drop out of college, quit her job at the Kardashian store and get plastic surgery.
So he raised her. He raised her.
Yeah. Well, she was 19. He was 29.
He raised her.
And yeah, he physically abused her. He didn't allow her to have any friends. I don't know, emotional abuse. He was the one that filed for divorce because he said she was cheating on him with multiple men.
Oof.
I mean, yeah, multiple men. Yeah.
Oof. She wasn't that scared.
Yeah, exactly. And then she married the other guy, but I think that was probably more for, I don't know, publicity. I don't know
Humphries.
But I don't know. I thought the Kanye and Kim thing were going to be, I mean, I guess lifetime, but...
Did you? I don't know. I don't know if I ever looked at it as like a lifetime deal. But
I don't know.
Let's move on so we don't give Kim whatever her name is now. Well, she's still Kim Kardashian.
KK.
But
yeah, KK.
Okay, so man, imagine this, right? I'm gonna set the scene. You're leaving the mall. What's the mall that you normally go to?
Willowbrook.
Okay, so let's go. You're coming out the Willowbrook Mall, right? You know, spent a little money, got a couple bags. Some guy walks over to you and like, hey, yo, miss, real quick. I got this 60-inch TV for sale. Brand new, man. 60 inches. I'll put it in your car right now for $50. And you look at it. It's a Samsung. It's decent. No scratches, nothing crazy. $60. You decide you buy it.
Yeah.
Take it home. Put it on the wall. Throw your old one out because, you know, the old one was only 45, 48, whatever that size was. You got a brand new 60-inch Samsung. You turn it in, you plug it in, and it is the menu board for a sandwich spot. And it only plays the menus of the sandwich spot. Hysterical. What would you do?
Who does that?
Well, apparently, this is the new trend with crackheads. They're stealing the menu TVs at places. They're stealing those TVs and they're selling them, and people are buying them, thinking that they have a TV, and it's just a screen that plays the menu for Jollibee over and over and over.
Oh my! No, I would never. But I'm too skeptical.
I mean, I might have bought it though for $50. Yo, is this TV good? Yo, it's alright. Ain't got the remote? Nah, no. I'll buy a universal remote. $50.
No. I grew up around a lot of scammers, so I kind of know. And at one time, my dad did buy a TV for us when we were little. We turned it on, a bunch of roaches came out of it.
That's like when I was at school, and I'm helping the kid log into the I'm helping the kid log into class, and you see the roach walk out his computer.
Oh, did you kill it?
I made him kill it.
Oh.
Listen, it's yours. You should be the one to put it down.
There's probably a lot of eggs in there too.
Well, it was a baby, so he might have gotten displaced from his family.
Or they were living in the laptop.
Don't say that. This kid comes to school every day. Don't say that. All right, moving on, man. All right, I want to set up another scenario for you, okay? You and I, we're going to a union meeting, right? And they all fly us out to St. Louis, and we're hungry, and we decide, let's go get something to eat real fast, right? And I'm like, ooh, man, look, it's a Popeyes over there. They got the new fish sandwich. Let's go try one. Let's go try the fish sandwich. and we walk to the door and we see a sign that says, "We are no longer serving white people." React. Because there's a Popeyes in St. Louis that is no longer serving white people.
So would you be like, "That's okay, I'll go get you your food and bring it out and eat with you out here"?
I would have more questions as far as, why would they take this stand? Because I never see white people in Popeyes. But then again, I don't go to areas where there are a lot of white people going to Popeyes. Would you care? Do you eat Popeyes? No. Yes or no?
I've had it a couple times. Like, I'm not going out of my. There aren't many around close to me, so I wouldn't go out of my way to get it. But I mean, in one area, there's one in East Rutherford, and that's it's a mixed town demographically. So I don't know. But I have to say though, I'm going to be honest. A few times I've been in Popeyes, the people, the counter workers, or the people at the drive-thru, they're not nice. I've had terrible experiences, like customer service experiences, just not nice.
Popeyes was the first place where I realized that people from other countries might not know how to speak English very well, but they know how to curse in English. So let me build the scene up for you, right? I'm in Popeyes and I'm delivering food. So I'm waiting for them to, fix the order. And it's an Arabic guy who's like the manager. And, the black chick is like, serving the chicken, like getting the chicken out. And it's like a couple people in the kitchen. And there's this one black guy in the kitchen, wave cap on, AirPods in, texting on the phone. So the lady's like, push the fries, because like there's a thing back there, like when they need fries, you push the fries forward and they fall down into this little chute so you can scoop the fries and put them in the chicken box. So she's like, push the fries. He's not paying attention to her because he's on his phone texting with his AirPods in. And she's saying it again, push the fries. He's still not paying attention to him. So the manager goes, push the motherfucking fries. I said, oh, shoot.
That's so funny.
And I can't believe that this conversation is happening in front of me. Like, it was... And he just... he was over it. And what the guy say? Oh, my fault. And then he pushed the fries forward. But apparently this is regular conversation.
That they can... person. That's great.
Yeah. So Popeyes, if you're listening, I want coupons because I had to endure that. So
I read online here that they found through a surveillance video, they found out that the sign was posted by someone who wasn't an employee.
Oh, okay, so it's false.
So, but I mean, how long was the sign up before they figured it out?
Well, I guess that was fake news. All right, so let's continue.
I would have just been like, okay, I'm off to the next spot. I'm fine with that.
You're gonna find a Roy Rogers. You're gonna find you a nice Roy Rogers or KFC.
Roy Rogers, yeah.
Mun, two people procreate who are not married. They have a child. What is the rule for the child's last name? Is there a rule for the child's last name?
Well, it's supposed to be the father's, but if the woman's smart, okay, sorry, I should take that back. That's a personal opinion. She would give him the child the man's last name, because if they ever break up, doesn't that count in like child support court?
I don't know, but if my children don't have my last name, they're not my kids.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't. Okay, let me word it differently. If it were me, and you're having the child with me, and the child does not have my last name, we gotta go to paternity court. I need to know.
What about hyphenated?
I don't like pick one. I don't like when they give the hyphenated both the names, the mom's name and the dad's name. Just pick one. I'll take the mom's name over the mom and dad's last name. Unless it's like in Spanish where it's like tradition where you can do like De Jesus or something like that. But even
What is that?
it's I don't
Is
know.
that
It's
a common
I've seen that, but I've seen kids with like hyphenated last names, and it's like this is the mom's last name and the dad's last name combined. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Pick
I
one.
guess
I think it
there's-
should be the dad's last name.
It depends on the relationship, maybe.
But make sure you're sure. That's a Stevie Wonder song.
How stable a relationship is. Are they going to get married? Or, they'll have to go through the legal aspect to change the name if they ever wanted to.
I don't think it matters, honestly.
I know people who are divorced, and when their children turned 18, they legally changed their name to their mom's last name because the father wasn't in their life.
I mean, I look at like my situation because I have my mom's last name. And at one point, I was questioning, should I just change my last name to my dad's last name? But then I thought about it, and I'm like, I don't know. My dad might have warrants. We look a lot like each other. I just leave it. I'll just leave it. But it also.
Did she ever say why she gave you her last name?
She did. I'm not gonna tell the business. I'm not gonna tell the business on
Okay, no,
I'm not gonna tell the business on.
That's fine.
On the podcast. But yes, we've had a conversation of the change. I will tell you this: it was a split-second decision. The plan was for me to have my dad's last name, and then something happened, and it was like, all right, switch it up.
Okay.
I wanted to get into Joe Biden, but I want to bring the story up, so I'm going to skip around a bit. So let's see, we got a little bit of time left. Let's see, China now has bird flu. So the rumor was that China is how we got coronavirus from the Wuhan lab. Now they have their first reported cases of bird flu. What's going on over there? What's going on in China?
Yeah, well, and what is going to happen when a bird flu comes here? But it can't be spread from human to human.
But so it can be spread from bird to human, but not from human to human.
Yeah.
This bird and that bat must have met at some point, and it's like, hey, yo, how you get them people corona? Hey, man, let me show you real quick. So this is what you gotta do. It's all of the flying animals over there. Well, chickens don't fly, but they're trying to kill us. Anything with wings in China is trying to kill us.
It's very telling that people in China, they've been wearing masks long before corona.
Well, they're also overpopulated. There's a story that came out that said that they're allowed to now have 3 children instead of 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I saw that.
It was just 1. And doesn't one have to be a boy?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought it had to be a boy.
Listen, and they talk about, my rights in the United States. They're being told how many children they can have.
Yeah, China's not a place you want to live.
I forgot. It was in North Korea where this American guy went over there and decided to, steal some of the posters, like the propaganda posters. Oh, they threw him right in jail. You'll never see him again.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
Yeah, there's no innocent until proven guilty. They threw him right in jail. Go straight to jail. Do not collect $200.
No, thank you.
So, man, here we go. I'm gonna build. No, go ahead. Finish it.
Go ahead. No, I said that's why we should be grateful for where we live. And a lot of people, I think, just, they don't understand.
No, but I mean, I think we are jaded to not having to deal with some of the issues that other people deal with in other countries. So if you only know this perspective, you don't realize, how lucky we are. Well, not lucky. I mean, because people had to fight and die for these rights. So.
Yeah, fortunate.
All right, let's move on. I want to build another scenario. You ready?
Okay.
Let's suppose
these are good. I like this.
Let's suppose you're a hairdresser, right?
Yeah.
And you do whatever women do with the hairdresser. They do the blowouts and the dyes and the highlights. All that stuff. Woman gets her hair done. You've been working on her hair for a couple hours, getting it done. She gets out the chair and decides not to pay you. What would you do?
I'd go crazy. I wouldn't let her leave.
So, like, would you, like, hold her until the police comes?
Yeah. I detain her. I'd call the police.
Lock the door.
She's stealing.
Lock the door.
She's stealing.
So, my reason...
Okay, go ahead.
My reason for asking is a Chicago barber shot his customer because he cut the customer's hair and the customer refused to pay him.
He killed him?
I don't know. I think he...
Well, you ain't getting paid now.
Well, he proved the point.
Him. What did you do? You just pull out your gun and be like, you ain't gonna pay me, I'm gonna shoot you in the leg. That's like gangster style.
Like, I wonder if there's more to the story, because I've been in barbershops before when, like, you get your hair cut and you go, oh, you guys take debit? And they go, no. And it's like, well, I have to go leave to get cash, but you've already cut my hair.
Do they let you leave?
Yeah, they've let me leave to go get the money. But I don't look like the guy who's not going to come back. But if it's like a guy who looks like he might not come back, no, leave your phone to some. You got to leave me some. You can't just up and go.
Yeah. That's crazy. People are nuts. But he stole a service, so not that it's right that he shot him, but I guess he was irate. But again, there's probably more to the story.
Possibly. So let's get into the YouTube algorithm. So you know how YouTube algorithms work, correct? By the way, if you're still here, make sure you hit the like button, leave a comment on something. Let us know. Are you familiar with how the YouTube algorithm works? I'm a YouTube person. Like, when I do, like, my checks on the phone to see what apps I use the most of, I thought it would have been like Instagram, Facebook. It's YouTube.
Oh, okay. So I don't know anything about the algorithm. Okay.
So the algorithm works with videos that you watch. They just keep recommending more videos that are like the ones that you watched. And if you ever give it a like, they recommend more videos based upon that. So the more interactive you are with YouTube, they try to send you other videos that people like you have watched. Long story short, I've watched like a police shooting video. Every morning now, I have about 7 police shooting videos like in my like docket. They're like this. Have you seen this one? Have you seen this one? Have you seen this one? And now I'm down this rabbit hole that is literally basketball playoffs and police shootings on my YouTube algorithm. And I don't know how to get it off.
That's all you got. I don't know. You have to Google that, and then Google will be sending you stuff.
Well, Google owns YouTube.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, so it's like I can't even Google how to get rid of it. Like, I want to see some of the other stuff.
You want to see some of the other stuff?
Yeah, like video game stuff. I'm on YouTube for like 4 different things. I'm on YouTube for sports highlights, animals, entertainment stuff, and the occasional just random stuff. And one random video I watched happened to be a police shooting.
So now you're not getting notifications for any of the other stuff.
Well, it's not that I don't get notifications. It's like when I load up YouTube, it shows me videos that I might be interested in watching.
Oh.
And it's all police shooting videos. And they all start the same. This shooting happened on November 19th on Myrtle Avenue. And then the first 30 seconds are not recorded for the volume. And then they show you what happens. And now, like, I'm hooked because I'm like this. What's going to happen? But I'm like, someone's going to get shot. But I'm like, the moment up until when they get shot, it's like, what's going to happen? And a lot of those videos, you can see where everything goes left. Everything starts, hey, bud, how are you, man? We just want to talk. We just want to talk. And I'm like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. You got to shoot me. You got me messed up. You got to shoot me. We just want to talk. Pat, pat, pat. I'm like, oh.
Are they graphic?
They show it from like 3 or 4 different angles. Everybody there who has a cam on, you get to see their cam. Wow. They show all the viewpoints of it.
So yeah, you probably have to watch more gaming videos to get rid of those. So don't watch any police videos for a while. See what happens.
Yeah.
There you go. That's going to be your next test.
To see what my algorithm looks like next week?
Yeah.
All right, man.
Exactly.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up with the last two stories. Joe Biden. Couple things. Joe Biden says he plans to extend high school education by 4 more years.
Yeah. Okay.
Are they coming out of high school with bachelor's degrees, or is it just another high school? Is it just a advanced high? Is it like high school plus?
That's ridiculous.
GED max.
And what is the purpose?
I don't know.
He didn't say.
Let's see.
I mean, I would find that, this is Joe Biden we're talking about.
Here, let's see what Joe Biden says. Let me mute it just in case it's a commercial or something, but let's see what he says. Yep, of course. There's always a commercial when I want to play something. All right, let's see. I get to skip it now, and here goes.
I wonder whether we'd think, as we did in the 20th century, that 12 years is enough in the 21st century. I doubt it. 12 years is no longer enough today to compete with the rest of the world in the 21st century. That's why My American Families Plan guarantees 4 additional years of public education for every person in America, starting as early as we can. The great universities in this country have conducted studies of the last 10 years. It shows that adding 2 years of universal high-quality preschool for every 3-year-old and 4-year-old, no matter what background they come from, puts them in a position to be able to compete all the way through 12 years. It increases exponentially their prospect of graduating and going on beyond graduation.
Okay, so that's not specifically high school, but he wants to add more years of school.
Yeah, but we offer that in our district. We offer a 3- and 4-year-old pre-K program. So technically, those kids are going longer. They're coming in earlier. I think that's what he's trying to say. Because for example, my girls, they didn't start school until kindergarten. They didn't go to pre-K. So I think what he's trying to say is everybody should go to pre-K, 3- and 4-year-olds.
All right, and here's the next thing that was said, and we're going to end it after this. So, this is Judge Joe Brown talking about Joe Biden, and it leads me to believe, is Joe Biden who we all thinks he is? Listen to this.
Now, I don't particularly like Trump, but I'm not against him. I did not vote for that damn fool that they had running against him, that racist dog, what I heard the first time in 1972 when I was doing an intern thing at a D.C. think tank.
And this is courtesy of Kwame Brown's YouTube channel. We can talk about him another day. But he's having a long conversation about with Judge Joe Brown. And Joe Biden came up.
When he was out there with James O. Eastland, John B. Stennis, Faubus came in from Arkansas. That's the fool who said they'd never integrate the Little Rock High School. They had Wallace there, who was wheeled in, and they had Byrd, former Grand Dragon of the Klan, and they were talking about this young man who had a stupid-looking ducktail like he was back in the 1950s, was the last true yellow dog Dixiecrat. And they were talking about Joe Biden, who got up there, and when the speech he gave, I mean, I was really offended. I heard it right outside the state capitol building in Dover, which was a rundown, ransacked old house, 250 years old. And he said, Negro children are like roaches. If they're allowed to integrate the schools, they will infest them and they will never be gotten out.
We're going to end it there. I mean, Erica, to be honest, I was a little iffy with Biden when he was like, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Like that made me go, is that what makes me black? If I vote for you?
But it's funny how that didn't come back to bite him during this campaign. Like, where was that during the whole campaigning?
I think people were just so done with Trump that it really, all he had to do was not kill someone and he was gonna win. But I mean, to be honest, I don't know if Trump would have lost if COVID didn't hit. I think it was a way to push him out, I guess you could say. I think people were really on the fence about him. And, you know, the people who were going to vote for Biden were going to vote for Biden, but I think there were a lot of people who were on the fence. And, you know, based upon the media and the way that they felt as if he handled COVID, decided to go vote the other way.
You think so? I think people were just done with Trump because of his tweets.
I think he might have won. I really think that he might have won if there was no COVID.
Oh, he still won. He might be president by the end of the year. No, I'm kidding.
You had to see the face I gave her, like, what?
I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is, but Joe Biden did say that, so.
Well, according to Judge Joe Brown, he said it. I mean, I don't consider Judge Joe Brown to be someone who's looking for attention or clout or to put himself out there to say something that's not honest or true.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I mean, the guy was on syndicated TV for what, like 12, 15 years? Like, he's rich. Like, what does he really need?
And then Biden has said other things in the past, like, you know, the minorities are having trouble getting the vaccine because, you know, they don't know how to use the internet.
Ooh, he has a new thing. So what he's doing is he's putting vaccination stations in barbershops.
Who is?
Biden.
Oh my
He
God.
wants to get vaccination stations in barbershops. And he calls them the hairstylist. They're going to be the point men in these locations. And I'm like, but what location is he specifically talking about that a barbershop would need it? I'm like, hoods?
Yeah.
Are people going to trust barbers over doctors, physicians, wherever else? Oh, nah, my barber said that COVID shot. He said, nah, the Pfizer and Moderna is good. Don't get the Johnson & Johnson. But he said that Pfizer is all right.
But wouldn't you want, if you're going to get the vaccine, wouldn't you want to get it at a place that's, I don't know, clean or disinfected?
Listen.
Not that barbershops aren't, but, you know.
I'll tell you one thing, because I am still kind of like iffy with like the vaccine and it being rolled out so fast. I'll tell you this, you know how they're giving away cars and trucks and food and donuts and all that other stuff?
Yeah.
If they tell me if I get that vaccine and I can get a full beard, I'm there tomorrow.
Oh my God.
I'm letting you know, nah.
You might only enjoy that full beard for 10 years after what they found out.
Ooh, tell me more.
Well, they're saying that the spike protein is a toxin in our body now. So it's traveling through the blood and it affects all different organs in different ways.
I wanted to get into Fauci and what's going on with him, but I haven't read enough to really get into it.
Yeah, it's very ambiguous right now. Like they're talking about emails, but what did he do? I mean, the Wuhan lab, we stopped the funding with them because I think the funding started under the Obama administration. And
then Trump stopped it. And then he got us out of the World Health Organization.
Exactly. But now we're going back into it. But Fauci tried to like get him to not stop it. So I don't know. Something's going to come out.
Well, I heard that a lot of people are turning on Fauci. As far as like for his, I mean, but he's contradicted himself a few times, and it makes you think. Well, which one am I listening to? The one that says that masks are not effective, or the one that says if one mask is effective, wearing two would be double effective? Because he said both. He said not wear a mask. He said wear a mask. Then he said wear two masks.
Well, the one doctor I was listening to, he said the paper mask is useless. Those disposable paper masks. I don't know. I
still am on the side of the most effective thing that we can do is stay away from each other and wash. The mask just adds an extra layer. Because we're still breathing.
I know.
It's not like we have oxygen tanks on.
And where's it going? it's still coming out somewhere. So are those little viruses, those little spike proteins or whatever they are they dying in droplets on our desks wherever we are?
I just hope that they don't stay in the sky for like 2 hours, like they were saying initially.
Remember?
Yeah, there's like this. Oh, it stays in the air for some time. It just floats around.
It just floats around, waiting to like infect you.
Knock on wood. I have not had any issues. All right, moving on. Mun. Story before last. Now we're getting into our bonus stories. Bonus stories. Here we go. If I go to a strip club, right, and I tip the dancer. Let's say dancer comes over. I like the way she looks. I decide, you know what? How much is a dance? And she tells me how much the dance is. And I decide to give her that amount of money. And she dances. And I don't like the dance. Should I be allowed to get my money back?
No.
It's gone?
Yes.
I can't get a refund? I can't talk to the manager and get my money back?
But that's your opinion. She might think she did a phenomenal job.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is there is a guy who actually served a female dancer because he gave her, I believe it was $10,000. He says it was a loan. She says it was a gift.
Oh, that's a little different.
He says they were dating. She says absolutely not.
Sounds like he got suckered. He's out 10 G's. He's a moron for giving her money.
I don't understand. I really don't understand. These women don't like you. It's their job to be nice to you. Why are you giving them money to be nice to you?
And why does he want his money back? Because she doesn't come around or whatever?
Yeah, she don't want them. She don't want any parts of him. And he's like, well, I want my money back.
Well, maybe he thought he was going to get a service.
Well, she turned into Diane Carroll, and it's too late, baby. Now it's too late. You ain't getting your money.
I wonder what'll happen with that. See, we need to follow up on that stuff.
It's nothing to follow up. The media tells you these stories. You go, oh my gosh, it's crazy. And then nothing happens. It's always a new story the next week. Always a new story. Speaking of new story, let's get into the last story. Mun, take it away. Who's getting free Wi-Fi?
All your neighbors. So this is a new thing called the Amazon Sidewalk. And it creates a low bandwidth network with the help of sidewalk bridge devices, which is like an Echo or a Ring device. And the bridge devices shares a small portion of your internet bandwidth, which is pooled together to provide services to you and your neighbors. So you have to know to go to your settings in your Echo and your Ring and turn this off.
So they're taking the Wi-Fi that I pay for and broadcasting it so that, okay, what would be the reason for this? Why?
What's the purpose?
Yes.
I didn't get that far. I don't know.
Because I don't understand why they would just broadcast Wi-Fi for what? Like, I get, like, if it was Wi-Fi so you can access Amazon, but can I just be on Worldstar Hip Hop using my neighbor's Wi-Fi?
I guess. Yeah.
But why would I need my neighbor's Wi-Fi if I have a phone with service on it?
I don't know. Let's see. It has I don't know why.
So all these Ring devices are going to be turned into wireless routers.
Yeah. They use a small sliver of your home's Wi-Fi bandwidth. So what does that mean?
Meaning they take some of the signal from your house and they push it through these devices. So these devices already have the ability to do these things. Boy, the way they design these things, and they already know what they're going to use them for, and they don't tell you. They just tell everybody, ooh, get the Ring doorbell. Look, they're still in your package. Get the Ring doorbell. And now they have a network of Ring doorbells. You ever seen these videos of these people who put like cameras up and they hack into them and they hack into people's houses?
Yeah.
I can only imagine that they're able to do that with some of these Ring devices and devices that people have in the house.
So I guess, I don't know. I guess like if you're I don't know, like if your Wi-Fi is low, what do? You go stand by your neighbor's house and
You ever get locked out? Phil, I'm using your Wi-Fi. Don't be alarmed.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think, I don't know what the reason would be behind it, but I just think it's very intrusive. Like all these wireless devices that we have now, anything that's on the Bluetooth or the internet, you gotta watch. Somebody's looking.
Yeah, and somebody's benefiting from it.
And so with the Ring and the Echo, they snuck this little sidewalk thing into the latest updates.
Speaking of latest updates, my phone, I just updated it yesterday, and now it's asking me to share my information with all my other apps.
Yeah,
and I gotta keep clicking no. I turned into Destiny's Child. No, 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 no.
My phone hasn't been working right since the update.
No, my
I
phone's
don't
been
get
fine.
service. I don't get service.
My phone's been fine, but it's been my Bluetooth has been acting stupid with my car. Like if I am on a phone call and I was listening to music prior to the update, the music would just play when the phone call ends up. Now I can't even touch the play button in my car. I gotta actually go into my phone and press play before it can play again.
It's crazy.
Fix it. Fix it.
This is the life of the privileged, huh? You worry about all these little...
First world problems that my music won't start playing after I hang up the phone. It's like,
Exactly.
This is ridiculous. I gotta touch my phone now. Ugh.
Exactly.
Ugh. Disgusted.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Now pump my gas.
I'm still trying to find out why we would use these sidewalk bridges.